Alright, what's going on, guys? Trey back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a video giving my thoughts on whether or not The Walking Dead Season 5 mid-season finale coda was a disappointment. Okay, so I've touched on this one just a little bit going up until this point. But really, with this one, I wanted to do a whole video on just kind of giving my thoughts on this. I've done one of these before. When I did this last was actually, I'm not sure if I did one for Season 4, but I know I did one for Season 3. And this is the same kind of deal as with Season 3, with the actual season finale of that season. If you guys remember that, where we were all kind of expecting to see Too Far Gone, and yet we didn't. We got the governor becomes a team killer, and then he kind of runs away. This kind of thing, and him and Shumpert go with him, or Martinez and Shumpert go with him, but then they leave him afterwards. We find that out later and all that, but. So this isn't the first time we've kind of done one of these types of topics, and talked about this, and this hasn't been topic of discussion online. Even IGN has touched on this one for Coda. For me, I think it's just that, and people have asked me this too, are our expectations too high? And to that question, I think the answer has to be yes. I mean, a lot of times we forget that The Walking Dead it's just a TV series. If you compare it to almost any other drama series, its highs and its lows, its highs, its climactic moments, I think when you look at Too Far Gone in that, are some of the most exciting. If you like zombie apocalypse type stories, and you like the zombie apocalypse movies and all that, and TV series, which actually has become a thing now, zombie TV series, whereas previous it wasn't really. There wasn't really such a thing at all. So with what The Walking Dead has become, people look forward to it all year round. Like I do. I look forward to seeing the premieres, the finales all year long. Of course, I read the comic book series in between and review that and everything with the channel, do predictions and everything. But it's become a huge show. I think I saw the ratings for it were like almost 15 million for Coda. It's just insane, like how many people love the series and how popular it has become. I mean, it's got its own following, and I would honestly say that its highs, if you look at Too Far Gone, you look at some of the best episodes of The Walking Dead, they're better than any zombie apocalypse movie I've ever seen. Way better. I mean, you think of the best zombie apocalypse movies, and yeah, some of them are really exciting. They've got good budgets and a lot of things happen, but I just don't feel, I don't get nearly as much from when we see a character death or we see something big happen in The Walking Dead. Also, Season 5 had like the best premiere ever. No Sanctuary was just an incredible premiere. That and the Season 2 premiere. I mean, they've had a lot of good premieres, but Season 5's premiere, No Sanctuary, and the first few episodes with the Hunters was just so exciting. Episode 3, again, Four Walls and a Roof, amazing ending, to the whole thing. And I think people were kind of hoping we were going to see that with Dawn's group. But I think here's the reason mainly why they didn't go that route is because, Rick's group is still... They're still the good guys, even though Rick, I feel like Rick at this time, out of all the different characters in their group, compare him to Glenn, even Daryl and some of the others, Rick actually might be one of the most ruthless out of them. I mean, he's your lead good guy, obviously, he's your lead protagonist, but and they kind of bring this in too with the. With this other group of police officers, and them still seeing themselves as police officers, whereas Rick, from the things he says, used to be, he doesn't see himself as one anymore. Not really, he doesn't see himself in that way, and it seems to me he doesn't have much trouble pulling the trigger when he needs to. He sometimes even needs Daryl to talk him out of it and say, hey, 3's better than 2. Don't shoot, right? So I think that's mainly the reason why they went this route and they didn't have Rick's group just use Rick's strategy and just annihilate them, basically. Even though I think that would have been more fun to see at the time, that would have been more exciting to see. Of course, you would have had to have a bigger, you'd have to spend more money, a bigger budget, right? Which they may have, I don't know how their budgets, what they look like, but they may have already used up a lot of it with the other earlier episodes with Consumed and that, seeing Atlanta and all that. In addition to that, you would have had Rick's group just become more ruthless, just become those killers where they're, as Dawn says, so you're a cop killer, because she still sees them as like they're just cops, even though it's a zombie apocalypse, they're cops, nothing has really changed in terms of that. So I think, and of course too, they wanted the concentration to be on Beth, and they wanted to have that great scene, that idea of having that stare down, that look at each other, and also the feeling as that played out of how Dawn perceives the others viewing her with, I'm going to need Noah too. She looks back and she feels like, maybe they're not gonna, because we view others how we view ourselves. Like we tend to give people unconditional disregard. We look at others similar to ourselves. So Dawn killed Hansen, right? So she sees it as the others could have that potential to do the same thing to her, right? So I really think that what they did do, rather than just having it be an action sequence and having it, guns ablaze and shoot off, is they went for the more character-centric approach, which is to show us a little bit more about Dawn, give us that scene with O'Donnell, I believe, and have it end between her and Beth. Have it be more personal than that. A stare down between the two, and have that character development, and have that great sequence where, Beth refuses to allow this to continue and takes her best shot, at Dawn. And, unfortunately it doesn't work out, and it's a sad death and everything like that. You get the great acting from Rick and the others. So, the route they went was different. They could have gone the Too Far Gone route, but they didn't. I'm not disappointed personally, but I can understand why a lot of people are, because they would have wanted that. All I would say is just, the comic book series, there's lots of great things to come. There's All Out War, a story arc that's going to be coming up in the next few seasons of The Walking Dead, where we have way bigger communities that Rick's group becomes a part of. And, we get to see like a whole war, like not just a little battle between two small groups, between Rick's group and the governor's group with one tank. In the future, we'll be seeing an entire war between, whole societies of, with hundreds of people, or, in total between it. So look forward to that. That's going to come. We're going to get that, is all I would say to people. And try not to be too disappointed. They want the show to feel different. They don't want it to always be repetitive and turn into, die-hard action flick with guns ablazing everywhere throughout the whole entire thing. Even though I would have liked to have seen that, and at the time it might have been more impactful right then and there, in retrospect it won't be. And those big war scenes, we're going to get them. They're going to come. They're on their way. It's going to take a little time to get there. Some people often ask me, will The Walking Dead burn out, or have we passed the best parts? Even though I feel like the ending of the Governor story arc is probably the highlight of The Walking Dead, there's still a lot of awesome stuff yet to come from the series. So, big battles, big war scenes and all that, in a zombie apocalypse, it's going to come. We're going to get it. You just got to be patient. And but they will also want us to get that character connection, feel those, the great story arcs to come through. And people who liked Beth, I'm sure really liked, they might be really sad because she's, spoiler, obviously, she's killed off. But, at the same time, every character in The Walking Dead eventually is probably going to die sooner or later, right? So they should be, I think personally, they should be happy with how much time she did get, and that she wasn't just a random death like T-Dog, because fans of T-Dog were kind of angry about that, that he didn't really get much time. So I think they handled Beth really well. I think it made sense for the story, and I'm not disappointed at all, really. I mean, maybe a little, because part of me loves the action, part of me wants to see that, but now that I've thought about it for a bit, I think it was really great the way it turned out. But I can understand if anybody wanted that. And all I would say is just, we're going to get that. It's going to come. It's just this storyline wasn't one that was going to end like that. We will have others that will. So, let me know what you guys think about all of that. And, of course, your opinion matters. What did you guys think Was it a disappointment for you? For me, it wasn't, but I also understand that my expectations are really high, so I try to keep them in check and compare it not just to other Walking Dead. I try to look at it in comparison to other TV series, and watch a few others. If you haven't watched any new TV series for a while, give some others a try, and I think you'll start to appreciate how great The Walking Dead really is. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about that. Those are kind of my thoughts on it. I wasn't disappointed, at least in retrospect. I wasn't, maybe at first, because we didn't get to see the big battle, and we all kind of want to see that. But, I'm happy with it. I'm satisfied, is what I should say. I'm satisfied. Let me know what you guys think about that. If you like this quick little video, please thumb it up below. If you want to help support the channel, please share it. Please favorite it. And that's it for this one, guys. See you for the next one. As always, it's Trav saying peace.